So it's our first Jaiva Dharma class. We're going to sing some kirtan first.
Which one?
Some prayer. We'll do the prayer. Nama Om Vishnupadaya Radhikaya Priyatmane Śrīla Bhaktivinoda Narayana Iti Namine. Nama Om Vishnupadaya Kesava Prasaya Bhutale Śrīla Bhaktivinoda Vamana Iti Namine. Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasaya Bhutale Śrīmati Bhaktivedanta Swamiti Namine. Nama Om Vishnupadaya Vishnu Acharya Simarupine Śrīla Bhakti Pragyana Kaisava Iti Namine. Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasaya Bhutale Śrīmati Bhakti Siddhanta Sarasvati Iti Namine. Nama Korakushoraya Sakshat Paragya Mutaye Vispalamba Rasambode Padam Bhajaya Namaha. Namo Bhakti Vinodaya Satit Ananda Namine Gaura Shakti Swarupaya Rupanuga Varayate Gaura Vibhava Bhumeswam Nideshta Sajana Priya Vaishnava Sava Bhoma Shri Jagannatayate Namaha. Panchakalpa Trubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavendiyo Vaishnavediyo Namo Namaha. Namo Mahavandanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gauḍīya Vaiṣṇava. Hey Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Sapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Kisabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye. Jayotam Sarato Pango Mama Manda Mate Gati Matsavasya Padam Bhajau Radha Madana Mohanu Divya Brindaranya Kulpa Drumada Shimat Ratnagara Shimastana Sao Kiti Madhra Śrīla Govinda Deva Kasta Vidya Sevyamani Shiman Rasta Rasarambi Vansi Vakta Tatasita Kashan Venus Vane Gopir Gopinata Shiyestuna Vindaya Tulasi Deviyayi Priyayi Kaishavasyacha Krishna Bhakti Pradedevi Satyavatya Namo Namaha Panchatattvatmakam Krishnam Bhaktarupa Sarupakam Bhaktavattarama Bhaktatiyam Namami Bhakta Shaktikam Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasari Govinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Okay, so we're just going to be reading from the Jaiva Dharma. I would like to read the preface actually first. The preface. And the preface is written by our Gurudev, Sri Srimad Bhaktivedanta Narayan Maharaj Goswami. So it's the first section. So on my oh, you went straight to the introduction. There's no preface. So I'll just read. I am delighted that the Gauḍīya Vedanta Samiti's third Hindi edition of Jaiva Dharma is now being submitted before the public. This publication has fulfilled my long-standing desire, for I was deeply concerned that this book was not available in India's national language, Hindi. The original Jaiva Dharma, written in Bengali, is a priceless ornament for all Bengali-speaking Vaishnavas. The author, Śrīla Bhaktivinoda Ṭhākura, is a confidential associate of Śrīla Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and is famous as the seventh Goswami. In the modern Vaishnava community, he re-initiated a powerful flow of the sacred Ganges of the unalloyed Bhakti that Swayam Bhagavān, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu revealed. Ṭhākura Bhaktivinoda wrote well over 100 books about Bhakti in several languages, and Jaiva Dharma has ushered in a new era in the world of philosophy and religion. This Hindi edition was produced under the direction of my most high-revered Holy Master, Sri Guru Pada Padma Om Vishnupada 108 Sri Srimad Bhakti Pragyan Keshava Goswami Maharaj. He is the guardian of the Sri Brahma Madhava Gauḍīya Sampradaya and has fulfilled the inner heart's desire of Śrīla Bhaktivinoda Ṭhākura, Śrīla Gaurokishora Dasa Bābājī Maharaj, and Śrīla Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Ṭhākura. He is an acharya in the line of disciplic succession coming from Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and is the founder acharya of the Sri Gauḍīya Vedanta Samiti and its branches, which are spread throughout India. And by his causeless unlimited mercy, inspiration and direct order, although I am unfit and incompetent in all respects, I was able to translate this book, which is full of exacting philosophy and profound and confidential truths regarding the worship Bhagavān. I have tried as far as possible in this translation to preserve the lofty philosophy and highly intricate and subtle moves concerning the analysis of rasa. I endeavoured to the best of my ability to express these things in clear and easily understandable language. It is for the readers to see how successful I have been in this attempt. Whatever value there is in this effort is exclusively due to the credit of the lotus feet of Sri Guru. The Hindi translation of Jaiva Dharma was first published in the monthly magazine Sri Bhagavat Patrika in a series of articles spanning 6 years. The faithful readers greatly appreciated this and repeatedly begged me to publish it as a separate book. Our second edition of Jaiva Dharma came out in book form for the benefit of the faithful Hindi-speaking public, and for the delight of the pure devotees. This edition was very quickly exhausted, so a third edition was presented to fulfill the deep interest and demand of the readers. My most revered Holy Master Sri Acharya Dev has given an elaborate introduction in his editorial preface detailing the unique characteristic of the book, its author, and other important topics. However, I cannot restrain my enthusiasm to add a few words of my own on this subject. I beg the readers to study the introduction with serious attention before reading this book, and I have firm faith that by doing so they will obtain clear guidance as to how to enter into the truth of the Supreme Reality. The word Jaiva Dharma refers to the Dharma of the jīva, or the constitutional function of the living being. From external appearances, human beings seem to have different religions according to classification of country, castes, race, and so on. The constitutional natures of human beings, animals, birds, worms, insects, and other living entities also seem to be of different varieties. But in reality, all living beings throughout the universe have only one eternal, immutable Dharma. Jaiva Dharma gives a compelling and thorough description of this Dharma, which is eternal and which applies everywhere, at all times, to all living beings. This book is filled with a highly concise form of the essence of the exceedingly deep and confidential topics of the Vedas: Vedanta, Upanishads, Srimad Bhagavatam, Puranas, Brahma Sutra, Mahabharata, Itihasas, Pancharatra, Satsandarbhas, Śrī Caitanya Charitamrita, Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, Ujjvala Nilamini, and other ideal shastras. Furthermore, it is written in the form of a tasteful, entertaining, and easily comprehensible novel. Jaiva Dharma gives an unprecedented and poignant analysis of many vital subtopics such as Bhagavat Tattva, the truth regarding Sri Bhagavān; Jīva Tattva, the truth regarding the jīvas; Shakti Tattva, the truth regarding Bhagavān's potencies; the conditioned and liberated states of the jīvas; a comparative study of the nature of karma, jnana, and bhakti; a conclusive and meaningful discussion of the distinguishing characteristics of regulated and spontaneous devotional service, Vaidhi and Raganuga Bhakti; and the supreme excellence of Sri Nam Bhajan. All these topics are discussed in terms of Sambandha, Abhidheya, and Prayojana. So if people don't understand these three terms, Sambandha is about our relationship. It's a relationship to Krishna. So then we have Abhidheya, which means it's a means of achieving ultimate goal in practice of sadhana bhakti. And Prayojana is the ultimate goal and object of life, which is prema, or pure love of Krishna. So prior to the Bengali edition of Jaiva Dharma, published by the Gauḍīya Vedanta Samiti, all editions of Jaiva Dharma published by Śrīla Bhaktivinoda Ṭhākura, Śrīla Bhaktisiddhanta Sarasvati Prabhupada, and the subsequent Gauḍīya Vaiṣṇava acharyas in their line have included the section on rasa vichara. So what is rasa vichara? It is a confidential, transcendental mellows of bhakti. However, for specific reasons, our most revered Holy Master, Srila Guru Padapadma, published an edition containing only the first two sections of the book, which deals respectively with Nitya Naimatika Dharma and Sambandha Abhidheya and Prayojanan. He did not publish the third part of the book, which deals with Rasa Vichara, a detailed consideration of the confidential transcendental mellows of bhakti. And later, however, when Sri Keshava Gaudiya Math was in the process of publishing its Hindi edition from Mathura, Srila Guru Pada Padma personally reviewed the entire book. In his introduction to this edition, he very clearly instructed the readers to first examine their eligibility or lack thereof, and then cautiously proceed with a study of the third section dealing with Rasa Vichara. Therefore, when all three parts of the book were published together in the second edition, I did not feel that it was necessary to give any further clarification. At the time of writing Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, a doubt arose in the heart of Sri Krishna Das Kaviraj Goswami, and regarding whether he should present the discussion on rasa vichar, he questioned whether or not to include this topic in the book, lest ineligible people may read it to their detriment. So finally he resolved to include rasa vichar in the book, expressing this in his own words in Chaitanya Charitamrita Adi Lila 231 to 235. Esaba siddhanta gura kahitenan yuyaya nakahile keha ihara antanahi paya. The esoteric and confidential conclusion regarding the amorous pastimes of Rasaraj, Sri Krishna and the gopis, who are the embodiments of Mahabhav, are not fit to be disclosed to the common ordinary man. Ata eva kahi kichuk karina niguda buhibe rasika bhakta na bujibe muda. But if they are not revealed, no one can enter into this topic. I shall therefore describe these topics in a concealed manner, so that only Rasika Bhav bhaktas will be able to understand them, whereas ineligible fools will not. Hirdaye daraye Chaitanya Nityananda Esaba Siddhante Se Paibe Ananda. Anyone who has established Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Sri Nityananda Prabhu in their hearts will attain transcendental bliss by hearing these conclusions. Esaba Siddhanta Hoya Amrera Palava Bhaktagana Kokilera Sarvada Valabha. This entire doctrine is as sweet as newly grown mango sprouts, which can only be relished by the devotees who are compared to cuckoos. Abhakta ustrera itena hoya pravesha tabe chitte hoya more ananda vishesha. The camel-like non-devotees cannot possibly gain admittance into these topics. Therefore, there is special jubilation in my heart. It is always inappropriate to reveal confidential Brajaras topics before general people. However, there is every possibility that this sacred mystery will disappear if it is not thoroughly explained. Although neem and mango trees may be present together in the same garden, a crow will sit on a neem tree and taste its bitter fruits, whereas the cuckoo, who has discriminating taste, will sit on the mango tree and savour its sweet sprouts and blossoms. Consequently, it is proper to present rasa vichar. Until now, the world of Hindi literature has lacked such an exceptional, fine and comprehensive book, which acquaints one through comparative analysis with the highest philosophical conclusions and super excellent methods of worship of Vaishnava Dharma. Jaiva Dharma has fulfilled this need. It will usher in a new era in the philosophical and religious worlds, and particularly in the world of Vaishnavism. This is at Sri Kesavaji Gauḍīya Mathura, UP 1989. An aspirant for a particle of mercy of Sri Sri Guru and Vaishnava, Sridanti Bhikshu Sri Bhaktivedanta Narayan Maharaj Ki Jai. So then we'll move on to the introduction. And this introduction, written for the second Hindi edition, this is the book there, by Sri Srimad Bhakti Pragyan Kesava Goswami Maharaj. Of the many religious traditions in the world, almost all of them adopt various methods to propagate their respective ideals with this in mind. They publish literature. They publish literature in different languages. It is self-evident that in the realm of secular education, there are elementary, intermediate and advanced levels as well as higher and lower branches of learning. And similarly, it is self-evident, and those who are widely read and deeply learned in comparative religious studies universally admit it, that there are gradations of knowledge in the metaphysical teachings of the diverse religious traditions. Amongst all these religious ideologies, the instructions given by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu on the religion of prema, pure love, are the highest revelation from all angles of vision. Surely once the world's impartial thinkers are exposed to such sublime understanding, they will unanimously accept this fact. Everyone wants to be inspired by the highest ideal and teachings, but how can this auspicious desire come to bear fruit? It is with this thought that the great liberated personality and crest jewel of the educated elite, Śrīla Bhaktivinoda established by his personal example the foremost ideal of spiritual life and composed many books on Vaishnava Dharma in different languages. In these books can be found a thorough description in a simple language of the instructions of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Out of all the author's worlds, this Jaiva Dharma is considered to be the quintessence by religious thinkers of the world. And within this world, the Vedas are the most ancient writings. Their corollaries, which includes the Upanishads and other literature compiled by Sri Vedavyas, such as Vedanta Sutra, Mahabharata, and Śrīmad Bhagavatam, are all consummate literary works over the course of time. Varieties of books were written, inspired by the ideals enunciated in that book of literature. They were widely circulated and thus gained broad popularity. In these books, not only do we find gradations of thought, distinguishing characteristics and contrasting views, but also we observe mutual exclusivity, polarization of doctrine, and speculative philosophy. As a result, there have been upheavals and calamities in the religious domain, and this continues to the present day. Under such precarious circumstances, the original Supreme Lord Swayam Bhagavan, who is the absolute truth, appeared approximately 500 years ago in the foremost of the 7 holy places, Sridham Mayapur, within Navadip Dham, and to deliver the conditioned living beings. At that time, the Lord specifically empowered some of his beloved associates to compile voluminous books which contain the true purport and essence of all Shastras. And through the medium of this literature, the Lord desired to invest Bhakti, which is the root of Divya Gyan, meaning transcendental knowledge, within the hearts of all people. All these books, with the exception of 3 or 4, were written in the Sanskrit language. Sri Rupa and Sanatana Goswami were among the most elevated and confidential associates of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and Srila Jīva Goswami was so dear to Sri Rupa and Sanatana that he was practically their identical manifestations. Extracting the essence of all the Shastras, Srila Jīva Goswami composed the Sat Sandarbhas and other books in Sanskrit. And through this effort, Swayam Bhagavan manifested his confidential desire to enact his Leela of delivering the jīvas. And some people who are incapable of ascertaining the true meaning of the Shastras are compelled to interpret them according to their relative understanding. In some cases, some people take only a partial meaning of the Shastras. In other cases, their interpretations cloud the true meaning, and in other cases again, they adopt a view that is thoroughly opposed to the original intentions. Srila Jīva Goswami is not in any of these categories, and the instructions that flowed from his pen are the absolute and conclusive instruction of Śrīman Mahaprabhu, which the instructions of the Vedas, the Upanishads, the Mahabharata, and Śrīmad Bhagavatam. And taking support of the flawless and complete purport of these instructions, Jaiva Dharma has been compiled in an astonishing form, so that readers may easily understand the utility and import of this book. We shall now give an analysis of the title's significance. The author has named this book Jaiva Dharma. Since we all maintain some particular conception of Dharma, essential occupation or religion, it is not necessary to elaborate further on this. Also, due to a shortage of space in Sanskrit, when the secondary suffix an is added to the word jiva, living being, it causes the medial vowel to be strengthened, and the n with the dot underneath is the suffix an to be dropped. And thus we obtain the words Jaiva. The word Jaiva means of or related to the jiva, And therefore Jaiva Dharma means the Dharma of the jīva, or the characteristic function related to the jīva. But what is meant by the word jīva in this context? The author answers this question exhaustively in this book, but I still think that it is essential to submit 1 or 2 points in brief. The word jivana, life, comes from the word jīva, which means one who has life. In other words, all living beings are known as jīvas, and thus the author has used the term Jaiva Dharma to indicate the constitutional function of the jīva. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has instructed jīvas throughout his exclusively devoted followers. The 6 Goswamis, headed by Sri Rup Sanatan and Jīva Goswami, as to what type of dharma they should accept and follow. So approximately 400 years later, the author of this book, Śrīla Ṭhākura Bhaktivinoda, who is renowned as the 7th Goswami, appeared not far from Sridhar Mayapur, the birthplace of Sri Gauranga. Being very soft-hearted and emphasizing with the plight of the jīvas, he wrote Jaiva Dharma in the Bengali language. So by the desire of Bhagavān, Sri Krishna Das Kaviraj Goswami, a beloved associate of Sri Gauranga, captured the essence of Bhagavān Sri Gaurachandra's instruction in Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita. This is expressed in the following shlok. Jivera Swarupa Hoya, Krishnera Nitya Das, Krishnera Tastasta Shakti, Beda Beda Prakash, Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, Madhya 20.108. The jiva's natural condition is to be a servant of Krishna. The jiva is the marginal potency of Krishna, and a manifestation which is both one with and different from Krishna. So the author has based Jaiva Dharma on this sloka, which is the Bij mantra, fundamental aphorism of all instructions for Gauḍīya Vaiṣṇavas. Therefore, this book is beneficial and acceptable for all human beings, beyond distinctions of race, caste, stage of life, time, place or person. Not only that, it is beneficial even for jīvas who take birth in other species, whether stones, animals, birds, insects, aquatics, or other moving and non-moving entities. There are many examples worth mentioning of beings other than humans who accepted Jaiva Dharma. Ahalya is an example in the body of a stone, the twin, Yamal Arjunas and the 7 Talas in the bodies of trees, King Nigra in the body of a lizard, Bharat Maharaj in a deer's body, Surabhi in a cow's body, Gajendra in an elephant's body, Jamavanta in a bear's body, and Angada and Sugriv in the bodies of monkeys. The instructor of the entire universe, Brahm, prayed to Swayam Bhagavan, Sri Krishna, to obtain the service of his lotus feet, even if that meant taking birth within species of grass, shrubs, animals or birds. This is stated in Srimad Bhagavatam 10.14.30. Tad astu me natasa buri bhago bhavetra vanyatra tuva tiraskam yanaham ekopi bhavaj jananam bhutva nisheve tava para palavam. My dear Lord, I pray that you will bestow such good fortune upon me that I may be counted as one of your bhaktas and fully engage in the service of your lotus feet, whether in this life as Brahma or in the next, even if I should take birth among the animal species. Prahlad Maharaj, the emperor of bhaktas, expressed still more clearly the aspiration to obtain Jaiva Dharma in the form of service to Bhagavān, even if it meant taking birth as an animal or in any form among the thousands of species. Natta yoni sahasresu yesu yesu brajami aham tesu tes achala bhaktir achyutastu sadatvayi. O Achyuta, in whichever of the thousands of species I may be forced to wander, please let me always have unflinching devotion unto you. And the author, Śrīla Bhaktivinoda Ṭhākura, has also prayed in a similar manner in his book entitled Saranagati. Chitta janma hau yatta tuya dasa bahya mukha brahma janme nahi asa. Saranagati Atma Nivedana, song number 3. Let me take birth even as an insect, wherever your bhaktas are to be found, I do not wish to be born as a Brahma, indifferent to you. The instructions of Jaiva Dharma are therefore commendable and acceptable for all jīvas. By taking those instructions deeply into our hearts, all living entities can easily obtain permanent release from the dreadful torment caused by the invincible shackles of illusion and from the phantasmagoria of trivial and false pleasure. Furthermore, such souls will become immersed in the bliss of service to Bhagavān and thus become fit to experience supreme peace and ultimate transcendental pleasure. Previously, it was indicated that there are higher and lower gradations of instructions in the field of secular knowledge. Similarly, it is accepted that there are higher and lower gradations of instructions in the field of religious truth. Only people of eminent qualifications can accept the ideal that is contained in the advanced teachings. The purport is that human beings are superior to all other species of life. There are many different types of living entities other than human beings. The word prani, which means that which has life, or jīva, refers to a conscious entity. We are not concerned here with unconscious objects or inert matter. The natural function of a conscious entity is called dharma, which implies the function of consciousness, or the nature that stems from one's true identity. The concept of dharma is inseparable from chaitana, which means consciousness. So in the 16th chapter of this book, there is a minute analysis consistent with modern science of the systemic development of consciousness. Conscious beings, which are bound by illusion, are found in 5 conditions. 1, achadita chaitana, which means covered consciousness. 2, sankuchita chaitana, which means stunted consciousness. 3, mukulita chaitana, which means budding consciousness. 4, vikashita chaitana, blossoming consciousness. And 5, purna vikashita chaitana, fully blossomed consciousness. Such conscious beings are known as jīvas, or prani. These 5 stages of living beings are divided into 2 categories: non-moving entities, sthavara, and moving entities, jangam. Trees, creepers, shrubs, stones, and other non-moving beings are said to have covered consciousness, achadita chaitana. The other 4 types of conscious beings are moving, whereas these entities are not, and because their consciousness is fully covered. Animals, birds, insects, and aquatics have stunted consciousness. Sankuchita chaitana. So jīvas born in species other than human beings are found in the covered and stunted states of consciousness. Jīvas in human species are found in the budding, blossoming, and fully blossomed stages of consciousness. Although sentient beings in these last 3 stages of awareness are all humans by physical appearance, they are graded according to their development of consciousness. And bearing this gradation in mind, human consciousness is considered to be in the preliminary, intermediate, or advanced stage of development. Nonetheless, trees, creepers, shrubs, animals, birds, and human beings are all jīvas, and their only dharma is to worship Bhagavān. And still, out of all of them, human beings are superior by dint of developed consciousness, and their special dharma is known as Jaiva Dharma, which consists of the worship of Bhagavān. The function of consciousness is graded according to the degree to which knowledge or awareness is covered. There is no doubt that human beings are superior to all other earthly life forms. Yet it is essential to understand whence this superiority stands. It cannot be said that human beings are superior to trees, creepers, insects, animals, birds, and aquatics from the point of view of form and appearance, strength and prowess, and beauty and charm. However, human beings are superior in every way to all other species with regard to the mental faculties, the development of the intellect, and the expansion of consciousness. It is this special dharma that is being analysed in Jaiva Dharma. Although in a general sense Jaiva Dharma is the dharma of all living beings, it should be understood as the specific dharma of the human species, because the special qualification for the highest dharma is found only among those jīvas with highly developed awareness. The question may then be raised as to why this book was entitled Jaiva Dharma and not Manava Dharma or Manusya Dharma, the religion of human beings. And when we investigate, we learn that the true function of human beings is found only in Dharma. Dharma or religion is not found in other species. This is the general rule. Trees, creepers, stones, worms, insects, fish, tortoises, animals, birds, snakes, and other living entities are counted as jīvas. But they do not exhibit the religious tendency which is characterized by the aspiration for moksha, which means liberation, or the worship of Bhagavān. Some philosophers are of the option that living beings who display only animalistic attributes such as foolishness and mercilessness are in fact animals. It is observed that some jīvas of this animalistic class possesses natural intuition by virtue of birth. To a limited extent, this natural intuition is a semblance of human nature. In reality, though, it is not human nature, for the human disposition is only observed when animalism is combined with knowledge or rationality. And those who have this human disposition are known as human beings. Our Aryan sages have described the animalistic demeanour as having 4 compelling propensities: ahara, eating; nidra, sleeping; bhaya, fearing; and maituna, mating. The human disposition manifests only when one overcomes these animalistic propensities and develops rationality, dharma vritti. Western philosophers have also stated that men are rational beings. However, it is essential to note that the meaning of rationality in Western philosophy is considerably limited. In Aryan philosophy, the word dharma is extremely comprehensive. Within only a single aspect of its meaning, it encompasses the Western philosophical concept of rationality and extends far beyond that to include the proclivity for the worship of God. Dharma is the true identity, characteristic of human nature, and living beings who are devoid of Dharma are designated as animals. It is said in Hitopadesh, ahara nidra bhaya maitunancha samanyam etat pasubhya naranam dharma hi taisam adiko visesha dharmena hina parsubhi samana. Human beings are equal to animals in the matters of eating, sleeping, fearing, and mating. Yet the quality of religion is unique to human beings. Without religion, they are no better than animals. And the meaning of this sloka is that the natural propensity of living beings is to satisfy the senses through the activities of eating, sleeping, fearing, and mating. These propensities are observed equally in human beings and in all other species. There is no second opinion about this. Human beings, however, can only truly live up to the human status when the disposition to be religious is found in them. The word dharma, hi taisam adiko visesha, means that dharma is the special quality which distinguishes human beings from animals and other species. Those in whom dharma is completely absent cannot properly be called human beings. The words dharmena hina pasubhi samana means that people who are devoid of dharma are like animals. And that is why in our country, human beings who are devoid of dharma are called narapasu, animalistic men. It is especially noteworthy that today people have abandoned dharma and remain engrossed in eating and various forms of sensual enjoyment. This sense indulgence is the tendency of animals or species other than human beings. And currently, due to the influence of Kali Yuga, humanity is gradually degrading and regressing towards animalism. Thus, according to Shastra, at present few people can even be classified as human beings. Had the author named this book Manusya Dharma, then from the Shastric definition of humanity, most would have been disqualified from this practice. It is for this reason that Śrīla Bhaktivinoda Ṭhākura, desiring the welfare of everyone, gave this book the broad title Jaiva Dharma, and thus completely preserved the conventions of Shastra. Dharma, or the worship of Sri Bhagavān, is found only in human beings and not in animals, birds, and other species. Human beings, as the most advanced species, are particularly qualified for the highest teachings or Dharma, Jaiva Dharma, is especially meant to be studied by them. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's unique quality is that he is merciful, even to the most fallen people, making them eligible for his highest teachings. Some mercy was not bestowed by any other avatars, and therefore Srila Rupa Goswami has glorified Sriman Mahaprabhu in very meaningful words in his drama, Vidagdha Madhava, 1.2. Anapita charim chirat karunyat tavatiyanaha kalau samapayitum unatojvala rasam sva bhakti shriyam hari purata sundara dyuti karamba sandipita sada hirdaya kandare sfuratu va sachinananda. May Sri Chaitanya, may Sri Sachinanda Gaura Hari, who is resplendent with an effulgence more glorious than gold, be ever manifest in the core of our hearts. Out of his causeless mercy, he has appeared in the age of Kali to bestow upon the world the wealth of his own bhakti, the supreme radiant mellow, Ujjvala Ras, the most confidential mood of service to Radha and Krishna in their conjugal relationship. The rare gift has not been given for any extremely long time. Human beings who receive this gift can very easily become free forever from the bondage of Maya, and by great fortune receive Krishna Prem. So the author of this slok has effectively captured the speciality of Sriman Mahaprabhu. In the 11th chapter of Jaiva Dharma, the author has established through the conversation between Mullah Sahib and the Vaishnavas that all human beings are eligible for Vaishnava Dharma. He has supported this conclusion with logical analysis and with firm evidence from the Shastra. So those who speak Urdu, Farsi, English or any other language can become Vaishnavas. It's not confined only to those who speak Sanskrit. In fact, it is observed that many people who speak Hindi, Bengali, Oriya, Assamese, Tamil, Telugu and other Indian languages have already attained the exalted status of Vaishnavas. Indeed, people from virtually any social or religious background are eligible for this. Disparity in language is certainly not a disqualification. Disregarding the opinion of those who might have had a prejudice about language, Śrīla Bhaktivinoda Ṭhākura has broadcast the transcendental instructions of Sriman Mahaprabhu in many different languages. He has written approximately 100 books in Sanskrit, Bengali, Oriya, Hindi, Urdu and English. The names of some of the more important of these works have been given below along with their dates of publication. So it's in the introduction section 15. This Harikatha, topics of Lord Hari, Samba, Nishumba, Yudhya. And it goes on to, there's like 78 books that is written here in the introduction. So when one sees this list, one can easily infer that the author was vastly learned, scholar of many different languages. I think it is necessary at this point to shed some light on a special feature of the author's life. Although he was preeminent scholar of Western thought, he was completely free from Western influences. Western educators say, "Don't follow me, follow my words." And in other words, don't do as I do as I say. And the life of Śrīla Bhaktivinoda Ṭhākura refutes this principle, for he personally applied and demonstrated all the instructions of his books in his own life. And therefore his instructions and manner of bhajan are known as Bhaktivinoda Dhara, the line of Bhaktivinoda. There is not a single instruction in his books that he did not personally follow, and therefore there is no disparity between his writings and his life, and between his actions and his words. They are one in all respects. It is natural for readers to be curious to learn about a great personality who possesses such extraordinary character. Modern readers in particular, who seek to know about any subject, cannot have faith in an author's writings without being acquainted with him. And therefore I'm submitting a few words about Śrīla Bhaktivinoda Ṭhākura. When he comes to discussing the life of Mahapurush, great self-realized personalities, who are transcendental to mortal existence, it would be a mistake to consider their birth, lifespan and death to be similar to that of mere mortals, because Mahapurushas are beyond birth and death. They are situated in internal existence, and their coming and going from this world is strictly a matter of their own appearance and disappearance. Śrīla Bhaktivinoda Ṭhākura appeared on Sunday, September the 2nd, 1838, and thus illuminated the sky of Gauḍīya Vaiṣṇavism. He took birth in a high-class family in a village named Viranagraha, also known as Ulagram or Ula, which is located within the Nadia district of West Bengal, not far from Shira Mayapur, the appearance place of Sri Gauranga. He disappeared from this world on June the 23rd, 1914, in the city of Calcutta. And at that time he entered the midday pastimes of Sri Sri Gandhavika Giridhari, who were the supreme objects of worship from the Gauḍīya Vaiṣṇavas. In his brief lifespan of 76 years, he instructed the world by personally carrying out the duties of the 4 ashrams, the stages of spiritual life, so brahmacharya, celibate student life, grihastha, religious householder life, vanaprastha, withdrawal from worldly duties, and sannyasi, formal renunciation. He first underwent brahmacharya and obtained various elevated instructions. After that he entered grihastha life, which is married life, and set an ideal example of how to maintain family members through honest and noble means. And all householders should follow this example. And during his grihastha life, Śrīla Bhaktivinoda Ṭhākura travelled all over India as a highly placed officer in the Administration and Justice Department of the British Government of India. And by his exacting discrimination and expert administrative skills, this great personality managed to regulate and bring to order even those places that were infamous as lawless states. And in the midst of family duties, he astonished all his contemporaries by the religious ideal he displayed. Although engaged in pressing responsibilities, he wrote many books in different languages. We have recorded the dates of composition in our list of his books. If the reader studies this, he can clearly deduce Bhaktivinoda's incredible creative power. So after retiring from his government responsibilities, Śrīla Bhaktivinoda Ṭhākura adopted the stage of vanaprastha and intensified his spiritual practice. At that time, so that's renounced, vanaprastha is renounced from family life, grihastha. At that time, he established an ashram at Surabhi Kunj in Godramadvip, one of the 9 districts of Navadvip. Śrīla Bhaktivinoda Ṭhākura remained there and performed bhajan for a considerable time. Later, he accepted the life of an ascetic and stayed at Svanand Sukada Kunj, which was nearby. And while residing there, he established the appearance place of Sri Chaitanya Dev and many other places of Gaura Lila. In this, he followed the example of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and his followers, the 6 Goswamis. So he is also known as the 7th Goswami, and who have discovered the birthplace and other pastimes places of Sri Krishna. So if Śrīla Ṭhākura Bhaktivinoda had not appeared in this world, the pastime places and instructions of Sri Gauranga Mahaprabhu would have disappeared from the world. The entire world of Gauḍīya Vaiṣṇava will therefore remain indebted to him forever. It is for this reason that he has been awarded the highest honour in the Vaishnava community by being addressed as the 7th Goswami. This Mahapurush instructed the time? 7. Okay, so we're going to have Arti soon. I'll just read. It's 7 o'clock now?
2 minutes.
2 minutes, okay. So this Mahapurush instructed the world both through the ideal example of his personal life and by writing books in many different languages. In addition, there is yet another unique gift that he bestowed, and it would be a display of ingratitude on my part if I neglect to mention this. Śrīla Ṭhākura Bhaktivinoda brought a great personality into this world, who was the commander-in-chief in propagating the Dharma revealed by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. This great personality is my beloved Gurudev, and this is my Param Gurudev, Śrīla Keshava Pragyan Keshava Goswami Maharaj, and he's renowned throughout the world as Jagat Guru Om Vishnupada Paramahamsa Kula Chudamani Astatara Satashi Srimad Bhaktisiddhanta Sarasvati Goswami Thakur, who is my Param Gurudev, Jagat Gurudev. It was an incomparable and unprecedented accomplishment on the part of Srimad Bhaktivinoda Ṭhākura to bring this Mahapurush into this world. the Vaishnava community honours Śrīla Bhaktisiddhanta Sarasvati Ṭhākura with a shorter title, Śrīla Prabhupada. And hereafter I will also refer to this supremely liberated Mahapurush as Śrīla Prabhupada. So we are going to have Archie now in the temple, so I'll finish here and we can complete it in our next reading. Thank you for everyone coming to... Huh? All right. Okay, so I'll just read a little bit more. Śrīla Prabhupada appeared as Śrīla Bhaktivinoda Ṭhākura's son and successor. Throughout the world, he raised the brilliant banner of Sri Madhava Gauḍīya Vaiṣṇava Dharma, which was practiced and propagated by Sriman Mahaprabhu, Sri Chaitanya Dev. In so doing, he brought tremendous welfare and elevation to the religious domain. Even Western and Far Eastern countries like America, England, Germany, France, Sweden, Switzerland, and Burma were not deprived of his mercy. He established 64 Gaudiya Maths, preaching centers in India and around the world, and from these he propagated the teachings of Sri Chaitanya. He also circulated all the books of Śrīla Bhaktivinoda Ṭhākura and thus established his incomparable fame throughout the world. And by the influence of time and the onslaught of the age of Kali, various types of corruption and false doctrines have infiltrated Gauḍīya Vaiṣṇava Dharma, and as a result, 13 distorted sects, upper sampradayas, had emerged, and they are named in this sloka: Ayola Bayola, Katabaja Neda Darvesha Sai, Sahajya Saki Beki, Smarta Jati Gosai, Attibadi Chudadari, Gauranga Nagari, Totakaihe Etaraha, Sanganahi Kari. Tota says that he will not associate with the 13 upper sampradayas: Ayola, Bayola, Katabaja, Neda, Darvesa, Sai, Sahajya, Sakibeki, Smarta Jati Gosai, Attibadi, Chudadari, and Gauranga Nagari. Okay, so how are we going with time? Stop here? All right, so we'll stop here now. So Panchakalpa Tribhyascha, Kripa Sindhubhyeva, Patitanam Bhavenbhyo, Vaishnavebhyo, Namo Namaha. So we will come back next Sunday, 5:30, on Facebook. We're not going to do it on Zoom now. So we're going to go into Arti. My Dandavats pranams to everyone. Hari Bol.